Good evening. I'm in my PJs today. Detective PJs. Hello. Hola, hola. ¿Cómo estás? You see my little detective PJs though? The in-law reason for the cutoff is gonna be that I was so rushed at the store that I bought them and didn't realize that the pattern was janky. Okay, that's a little quieter. Okay, let me turn me up. Okay, I turned myself up. How is that? Is that better? Actually, I know exactly why. Hold on. Okay, oh my god, that's so loud. Hello. That's much better, huh? This is probably really good. My cat is going absolutely insane over on my bed, which is highly unfortunate. Also, hi, biggest bird. Hello. Hi. Good evening. But, oh my god. He's got the zoomies. The late night zoomies. Oh my word. Tim. He's going crazy. Timmy, it's okay. Hi, everybody. I was trying to let people come in. Oh, hi, Enderman. Hello. Hi, welcome. Good evening. What is he doing? Hold on. No, I'm telling you, he's got such big zoomies. He's about to jump on my bed. You ready? What is he doing? Hi, chillin'. Good evening, welcome. Timmy, do I have to put you outside of the room? I can't read if you're going crazy. Okay, yeah, hold on. Let me take him out. Benzo, what does that mean? Who's getting freaking in the background? My cat was going absolutely wild. He was jumping on my little Japanese floor chairs, and then he was jumping on my bed. He was just going crazy. And yeah, it was a wild start. I don't think he was that loud though, that's the good news. Fingers crossed. Oh gosh. Okay, but now that we got the troublemaker, the zoomy man out of the way, I think we should be good to start reading. If we're all excited and ready for the reading. We're on the second book of Sherlock Holmes. It's called, I think it's The Study of Four, ? I don't even know. I just have it sitting up on my computer. Let's look. The Sign of the Four. Ah, close. The Sign of the Four. That's what we're reading tonight. We started it last Tuesday. So we are about maybe 2/3 of the way through. Maybe a little less. We'll see how far we get tonight. But we are starting at chapter 5. It's called The The Tragedy of Pondicherry Lodge. Oh my god, my toilet. Oh. I closed my bathroom door. Oh. Chillin'. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Chillin'. It's so nice. Thank you so much. Hell yeah. Also, hi, Emmy. And yeah, no, the giggling stream begins. But thank you, Jalen. It's so nice. Let me see. I got you over here. Kaboom. Already there, up and ready, up on my little crew manifest for the night. Yahoo! Yahoo! It's so nice. Thank you. Wait, okay. I guess that's a valid point. Thank you again. It's so nice. Oh, okay. Chapter 5: The Tragedy of Pondicherry Lodge. It was nearly 11 o'clock when we reached this final stage of our night's adventures. We had left the damp fog of the great city behind us, and the night was fairly fine. A warm wind blew from the westward, and heavy clouds moved slowly across the sky, with half a moon peeping occasionally through the rifts. It was clear enough to see for some distance, but Thaddeus Sholto took down one of the side lamps from the carriage to give us a better light upon our way. Pondicherry Lodge stood in its own grounds and was girt round with a very high stone wall topped with broken glass. A single narrow iron clamped door formed the only means of entrance. Hi, thank you for the headpats. Thanks. On this, I'm good. How are you? We just got started, so I'm really excited to see what all happens in the story tonight. But how are you? Did you have a good day? On this, our guide knocked with a peculiar postman-like rat-tat. "Who is there?" cried a gruff voice from within. "It is I, McMurdo. You surely know my knock by this time." There was a grumbling sound and a clinking and jarring of keys. "Oh my god, your mother's birthday yesterday. Oh, that's awesome. Happy belated birthday to her. I hope you guys went and you had lots of cake and you went out and you celebrated and you just had a really fun time and did stuff she enjoyed and she had a great day." Thanks for being here. The door swung heavily back, and a short, deep-chested man stood in the opening with the yellow light of the lantern shining upon his protruded face and twinkling, distrustful eyes. "That you, Mr. Thaddeus?" I'm moving my mouse, sorry. "Is that you, Mr. Thaddeus? But who are the others? I had no orders about them from the master." "Oh, Jillian." Jillian. Thank you. Let's go, Brennan. Yay, suffer, Brennan. It's so nice. Thank you. You know very well that I must stick to regulations. I can let you in, but your friends must just stop where they are." This was an unexpected obstacle. Thaddeus Sholto looked about him in a perplexed and helpless manner. "This is too bad of you, Mr. McMurdo," he said. "If I guarantee them, that is enough for you. There is the young lady, too. She cannot wait on the public road at this hour." "Very sorry, Mr. Thaddeus," said the porter inexorably. folk may be friends of yours, and yet no friends of the master's. He pays me well to do my duty, and my duty I'll do. I don't know none of your friends." "Oh, yes, you do, Mr. McMurdo," cried Sherlock Holmes genially. "I don't think you can have forgotten me. Don't you remember the amateur who fought—" "Hi, Sal, thanks for the lurk." "Don't you remember the amateur who fought 3 rounds with you at Allison's room on the night of your benefit 4 years back?" "Not Mr. Sherlock Holmes," roared the prize fighter. "God's truth, how could I have mistook you? If instead of standing there so quiet, you had just stepped up and given me that cross hit of yours under the jaw, I'd have known it was you without question. Ah, you're the one that has wasted your gifts, you have. You might have aimed high, if you had joined the fancy. You see, Watson, if all else fails me, I still have one of the scientific professions open to me," said Holmes, laughing. "Our friend won't keep us out in the cold now, I'm sure." "Yeah, that's right. You won your gamble. Keep it going." "In you come, sir. In you come. You and your friends," he answered. "Very sorry, Mr. Thaddeus, but orders are very strict. Had to be certain of your friends before I let them in." Inside, a gravel path wound through desolate grounds to a huge clump of a house, square and prosaic, all plunged in shadow, save where a moonbeam struck one corner and glimmered in a garret window. The vast size of the building, with its gloom and its deathly silence, struck a chill to the heart. Even Thaddeus Sholto seemed ill at ease, and the lantern quivered and rattled in his hand. "I cannot understand it," he said. "There must be some mistake. I distinctly told Bartholomew that we should be here, and yet there is no light in his window. I do not know what to make of it." "Does he always guard the premises in this way?" asked Holmes. "Yes, he has followed my father's custom. He was the favorite son, you know, and I sometimes think that my father may have told him more than he ever told me. That is Bartholomew's window up there, where the moonshine strikes. It is quite bright, but there is no light from within, I think." "None," said Holmes, "but I see a glint. I'm going to take my watch off. I hear it vibrating." "But I see a glint of a light in that little window beside the door. Ah, that is the housekeeper's room. That is where old Mrs. Burnstone sits. She can tell us all about it. But perhaps you would not mind waiting here for a minute or two, for if we all go in together, and she has no word of our coming, she may be alarmed. But hush, what is that?" He held up the lantern, and his hand shook until the circles of light flickered and wavered all around us. Miss Morstan seized my wrist, and we all stood with thumping hearts, straining our ears. From the great black house there sounded through the silent night the saddest and most pitiful of sounds, the shrill, broken whimpering of a frightened woman. "Hi, God Hunter. Hello. Good evening. Thanks for being here. Is the lady that's whimpering, is she the housekeeper? Which would make me wonder what's going on inside." "It is Mrs. Burnstone," said Sholto. "She is the only woman in the house. Wait here. I shall be back in a moment." He hurried for the door and knocked in his peculiar way. We could see a tall old woman admit him. "Thank you so much for the head pats. Thank you. And God Hunter, it's exclamation point seaweed. They're called seaweed here, so that'll let you know." Hi. We heard her reiterated rejoicings until the door was closed and her voice died away into a muffled monotone. Our guide had left us the lantern. Holmes swung it slowly round and peered keenly at the house and at the great rubbish heaps which cumbered the grounds. Miss Morstan and I stood together, and her hand was in mine. A wondrous, subtle thing is love, for here we were, two who had never seen each other before that day, between whom no word or even look of affection had ever passed. I forgot. Watson has a crush on her. That's right, he thinks she's gorgeous. And yet now, in an hour of trouble, our hands instinctively sought for each other. Another posture check. Okay, hold on. Okay, thank you. I have marveled at its sense, but at the time... Oh, a hydrate. Okay, hold on. Good night, Sal. Good night, good night. Have a great evening. I hope you sleep well. Hi, Gold Star Hunter. Thank you so much for the follow. Good evening. Welcome in. I have marveled at its sense, but at the time it seemed the most natural thing that I should go out to her so. And, as she has often told me, there was in her also the instinct to turn to me for comfort and protection. Oh, I just did a posture check. Hold on, let me readjust. Thank you so much. Hi, NQ. Hello, good evening. No. Another one. I don't know how much better I can get, but every time I'll redo my posture just for you guys. Thanks for looking out for me. I'm gonna go mad. What can I do? I don't know. Oh my god. Yeah, no. No. Waste your points on something better. You kill me. I don't know how to make this any better. I promise I am sitting as straight as possible. Okay, yeah. See, unlike this guy's right here, this is perfect. I know. Look at me, I'm so goofy. Hi, Kai. How are you feeling? Are you feeling any better? I know you were feeling a little sick earlier, right? I think it was sick, which is why you weren't streaming tonight. But are you feeling better? Did you get some rest today? Yeah. Oy vey. Yes. Yes. Shout out. Shout out. Shout out. Yay. Oh no. No. Still feeling poopy. I'm so sorry. I hope enough rest can help, but sometimes that's not going to be the only solution. I don't know what... What am I supposed to do? I am already sitting as tall as a board. I don't know what to do. Sorry. I will just readjust in my chair. Okay, readjustment done. Thank you. Oy vey. Oy vey. Okay, that's more like it. Thank you for the headbands. But yeah, I hope you feel better, Kai. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling the best. Huh? Huh? Nobody had gotten first yet? What? Whatever. Yeah, let's go. Good job. Good job, no wife. You got it. It's funny. Oh my god, 15. 15. That's crazy. Hitman Egg. That's crazy. Thank you. Oh, thank you for being here so often. That's awesome. Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna get back to reading. Wait, wait. stood hand in hand, like two children, and there was peace in our hearts for all the dark things that surrounded us. What a strange place, she said, looking around. It looks as though all the moles in England have been let loose in it. I have been something of the sort on the side of a hill near Ballarat, where the prospectors had been at work. And from the same cause, said Holmes. These are the traces of the treasure seekers. You must remember that they were 6 years looking for it. No wonder that the grounds look like a gravel pit. At that moment, the door of the house burst open, and Thaddeus Sholto came running out, with his hands thrown forward and terror in his eyes. There is something amiss with Bartholomew, he cried. I am frightened. My nerves cannot stand it. He was indeed half blubbering with fear, and his twitching, feeble face, peeping out from the great astrakhan collar, had the helpless, appealing expression of a terrified child. Come into the house, said Holmes, in his crisp, firm way. Yes, do, pleaded Thaddeus Sholto. I really do not feel equal to giving directions. We all followed him into the housekeeper's room, which stood upon the left-hand side of the passage. The old woman was pacing up and down with a scared look and restless, picking fingers, but the sight of Miss Morstan appeared to have a soothing effect upon her. God bless your sweet, calm face, she cried, with a hysterical sob. It does me good to see you. Oh, but I have been sorely tried this day. Our companion patted her thin, work-worn hand, and murmured some few words. Of kindly, I don't know if that was my background noise. It might have been. Of kindly, womanly comfort, which brought the color back into the other's bloodless cheeks. Applebee's. Oh, wow. Yeah, Applebee's isn't terrible. I don't know if I would voluntarily choose Applebee's. But I mean, like, if that's where we were going for dinner, I wouldn't be upset. It's pretty decent. Well, yeah. Yeah. Hey, look. I'm not saying it was a bad choice for dinner. What was that noise? I'm so confused. My room, my door is closed. I don't know what that noise was. I'm so confused. Our companion, I already read that. Master has locked himself in and will now answer me, she explained. All day I have waited to hear from him, for he often likes to be alone. But an hour ago I feared that something was amiss, so I went up and peeped through the keyhole. You must go up, Mr. Thaddeus. You must go up and look for yourself. I have seen Mr. Bartholomew Sholto in joy and in sorrow for 10 long years, but I never saw him with such a face on him as that. Sherlock Holmes took the lamp and led the way, for Thaddeus Sholto's teeth were chattering in his head. So shaken was he that I had to pass my hand under his arm as he went up the stairs, for his knees were trembling under him. Chilies? Benzo, you're gonna be out here suggesting chilies? What? No. Chilies is stinky poo-poo. To my taste buds, okay? To my taste buds. Twice as we ascended, Holmes whipped his lens out of his pocket and carefully examined marks which appeared to me to be mere shapeless smudges of dust upon the cocoa-nut matting which served as a stair carpet. He walked slowly from step to step, holding the lamp and shooting keen glances to right and left. Miss Morstan had remained behind with the frightened housekeeper. The third flight of stairs ended in a straight passage of some length, with a great picture in Indian tapestry upon the right of it, and 3 doors upon the left. Chili's is not better than Applebee's. I don't know. I think Applebee's might be better than Chili's. Yeah, okay, Chili's mozzarella sticks and then their volcano cake. That's the only 2 good things on their menu. Sorry. But also, I am extremely picky. I am such a picky eater, so you honestly probably should not take my preference. Don't ask me. I probably am not correct. Holmes advanced along it in the same slow and methodical way, while we kept close at his heels, with our long black shadows streaming backwards down the corridor. The third door was that which we were seeking. Holmes knocked without receiving any answer, and then tried to turn the handle and force it open. It was locked on the inside, however, and by a broad and powerful bolt, as we could see when we set our lamp up against it. The key being turned, however, the hole was not entirely closed. Sherlock Holmes bent down to it and instantly rose again with a sharp intaking of his breath. There is something devilish in this, Watson, said he, more moved than I had ever before seen him. What do you make of it? I stooped to the hole and recoiled in horror. Moonlight was streaming into the room, and it was bright with a vague and shifty radiance, looking straight at me, and suspended, as it were, in the air. For all beneath was in shadow. There hung a face. The very face of our companion Thaddeus. Okay, so obviously it's Bartholomew. But, what? Wait, is he hanging himself? Did he hang himself? Huh? There was the same high, shining head, the same circular bristle of red hair, and the same bloodless countenance. The features were set, however, in a horrible smile, a fixed and unnatural grin, which, in that still and moonlit room, was more jarring to the nerves than any scowl or contortion. So like was the face to that of our little friend that I looked around at him to make sure that he was indeed with us. Then I recalled to mind that he had mentioned to us that his brother and he were twins. Y'all are going crazy over Chili's. Oy vey. This is terrible, I said to Holmes. What is to be done? So is he hanging? Like, did he die? Is he hanging himself? The door must come down, he answered, and springing against it, he put all his weight upon the lock. It creaked and groaned, but did not yield. Together we flung ourselves upon it once more, and this time it gave way with a sudden snap, and we found ourselves within Bartholomew Sholto's chamber. It appeared to have been fitted up as a chemical laboratory. A double line of glass stoppered bottles was drawn up the wall opposite of the door, and the table was littered over with Bunsen burners, test tubes, and retorts. In the corners stood carboys of acid in the wicker baskets. One of these appeared to leak or to have been broken, for a stream of dark-colored liquid had trickled out from it, and the air was heavy with a peculiarly pungent, tar-like odor. A set of steps stood at one side of the room, in the midst of a litter of lath and plaster, and above them there was an opening in the ceiling, large enough for a man to pass through. At the foot of the steps, a long coil of rope was thrown carelessly together. Is A&W, is that the steak sauce? I don't eat steak sauce. Is that what that is? It is. Okay. Evan. Oh no, not a flake too. Crazy. Oh, yeah. It's root beer, isn't it? It is root beer. Bro. Forgive me. I couldn't remember. I drink Barks. Okay, if I were to drink root beer, I would be drinking some Barks. So, I don't know. Thanks for the hydrates, Evan. Crazy. By the table, in a wooden armchair, I don't really drink root beer. Honestly, I would probably have to buy both and try them both and then make a decision then and there and be like, oh yeah, this one's better than this one. In a wooden armchair, the master of the house was seated. Oh, hi. Hello. Hi, Perfect Prey. Hi. Thank you so much for the raid. Hello. Hi. Hi, Jaeger. Thank you so much for the follow. And hi, Harrison. Thank you for the follow. And hello. It's going good. We kind of sort of just started. We haven't gotten far because we've been talking about chilies. And, Jaeger notices you. Benzo, you make your way around the block. But it's going good. How was your stream? Perfect, did you have a good one? Do you go by Perfect or do you go by Prey? What do you go by? Oh yeah, we shout out everybody over here. We love shout outs. Shout out. Oh, you love my model? Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am a ocean dog. I do ASMR on Monday and Tuesday nights. And posture checks apparently. And then I do gaming on Thursdays. But again, how was your stream? Was it good? Oh my gosh. Jaeger. Thank you. Having Benzo on my team instantly, vouches for me. It's funny. Thanks, guys. And thank you for the headpads. Thank you. I wasn't slouching, Evan. I wasn't slouching. It was good, okay? Ooh, scripts. Are you so... Oh my god, not another posture check. Guys, you're wasting your bubbles at this point. Goofers. Okay, disguise works. See, I think disguise is worth it. But, Perfect Prey, for scripts, are you like, a screenwriter, or like, are you doing for like plays, or just, thank you for the follow. Thanks for the follow. What kind of scripts do you do? Not another posture check. Y'all are crazy. God. Seems my community loves hydrates and posture checks. Good to know. Keepers. No. Another one. Oh, Jesus. No, guys. Y'all are gonna make me have to put a cooldown on it. Well, what am I supposed to do? Do you want me to stand up and reset? Like, what am I supposed to do? And it's for your comic. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I love that. Oh, thank you for that, Pats. Thank you. Thank you. But that's so cool. Hold on. I am going to stand up and reset for all your freaking posture checks. I don't know what else to do. I hope this isn't loud with my chair. Hold on. Stand. Oh no. Oh my god, you hear my knees? I got bad knees, guys. I got bad knees. Thanks for the disguise. Oh no, I'm third. I'll go through and I'll do some of my points later. Did I have a stretch in there? I don't see a stretch. So no, I won't. Hold on, I gotta get back to reading. I've been on such a tangent. Yeah, there we go. Now I start. It's a good one too. If you spam 100, please. I would take all my sips, but I don't know if that's what we want for this stream. Those are more so for my gaming streams when we've got no sort of rigid thing going on. Yeah, I'll take one. Oh, no more. What is that noise? Oh. I wonder if a cat's trying to get in my room. Hold on. No, wife, if you hydrate again, I'm gonna take it away from you. Wait. I wasn't at the computer for the disguise. And the posture check. Y'all kill me. Okay, hold on. How many hydrates is that? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 sips of water. No more, no wife. You're on probation. No more. Hi, Faye. Hi, Faye. Thanks for coming in just for the hydrate. Oh gosh, how about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 now? Oh my god. I don't know if this is what we want to be hearing on the darn ASMR stream. Y'all are goobers. Oi. 10 sips. 10 little sippies. I don't have a VIP. I don't have a VIP roll. Okay, let me readjust my posture. Okay, guys, no, I'm taking posture check away from you. I'm taking it away. Trying to get my disguise, but hold on. Posture check. You'll lose your privileges. You'll get it back later. Nope, it's gone now. No more posture checks. Stop it. What is my cat doing? And a bunky. Crazy. This is so scuffed, guys. I'm sorry. All the raiders come in and I haven't even read anything. I haven't even got any reads. Oh, gosh. Okay. I think nothing has been going in. That is, you are banned. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read, everybody. Let me read a little bit. Oh, Bento. Thank Thank you for the gifted sub. So nice. Thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I put you up on my crew manifest. You're coming with me tonight. You and chillin'. Yahoo! Okay, I'm gonna read. Crazy work. Thank you for the headbands. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay. By the table, in a wooden armchair, the master of the house was seated all in a heap, with his head sunk upon his left shoulder, and that ghastly, inscrutable smile upon his face. He was stiff and cold, and had clearly been dead many hours. Oh, so he was dead. Ooh. But not hanging, he's sitting in a chair. Okay. It seemed to me that not only his feature... Oh my fucking god. Oh my gosh. You guys, what the hell is 0? I don't know what it is, but it gave me a Steam alert. Oh my god, wait, another raid. Hi. 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 Oiki Doki, maybe? Thank you so much for the raid. Hi everybody, welcome, welcome. My name is Sailor. I'm an ocean dog, a sea puppy, if you will. Hello. I do ASMR on Monday and Tuesday nights, and then I do gaming on Thursdays. Welcome in. Thank you, Morky Mork, for the follow. Aoki, I hope that's how you say it. Did you have a good stream? Jaeger. Thank you for doing some good hard work for me, Jaeger. Many thanks. And thank you for the follow, Aoki. Thank you. How was your stream? Was it good? Did we get a shout out for her? We did, yeah? Yeah, she was asked to an ASMR. She? He? Actually, I don't know. Are you a she or a he? Let me lookies. Let me looky. Oh, what I follow. Oh, let me looky.
After the guys, they were...
Oh, it was loud. I'm sorry. I don't know if that came through on stream. Here, see her. She. She. That's her pronouns. Oh, I look cute. Thanks. Thank you so much. Many thank yous. Appreciate. Oh, it did come through. Darn nabbit. Alright. Again, I hope your stream was well. Thank you so much for the raid. Oh, yeah. Aoki or Aoki? Oh, yeah. Aoki is how I prefer. I think that's how it would be pronounced if it's Japanese. It looks like it's like would be Japanese. Eastern versus Western. Yep. Good. I'm glad you had a great night. Awesome. Hi, Swanky. Hello. Good evening. Thank you again for the raid. Have a good night. If you stay around, we're reading Sherlock. So I hope you enjoy the story. And thank you for the headbands. Thanks. We just discovered that the owner of this house, who was hiding some treasure, he is dead. And we don't know why. Bum 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 bum. It seemed to me that not only his features, but all his limbs were twisted and turned in the most fantastic fashion. By his hand upon the table there lay a peculiar instrument, a brown, close-grained stick, with a stone head like a hammer, rudely lashed on with coarse twine. Beside it was a torn sheet of notepaper with some words scrawled upon it. Holmes glanced at it and then handed it to me. Oh. Oh, of course. Thank you so much. Have a great night. And welcome, bamboos. Welcome in. Let's go. I would. Yes or no? No. The answer is no, Evan. To whatever you will ask me. 50-50? No. You see, he said, with a significant raising of the eyebrows. In the light of the lantern I read, with a thrill of horror, the sign of the four. Book title. In God's name, what does it all mean? I asked. It means murder, said he, stooping over the dead man. I expected it. Look here. He pointed. Evan wants to gamble, I think. And I told him no. So now, Benzo, he wants you to tell him yes so that he can gamble. Yep. Yep, exactly what it was. I was trying to save you, buddy. Sorry. He pointed to what looked like a long, dark thorn stuck in the skin just above the ear. It looks like a thorn, said I. It is a thorn. You may pick it out, but be careful, for it is poisoned. Ooh. I took it up between my finger and thumb. It came away from the skin so readily that hardly any mark was left behind. One tiny speck of blood showed where the puncture had been. This is all an insoluble mystery to me, said I. It grows darker instead of clearer. On the contrary, he answered, it clears every instant. I only require a few missing links to have an entirely connected case. We had almost forgotten our companion's presence since we entered the chamber. He was still standing in the doorway, the very picture of terror, wringing his hands and moaning to himself. Suddenly, however, he broke out into a sharp, querulous cry. The treasure is gone, he said. Oh, they have robbed him of the treasure. There is no hole through which there is the hole through which we lowered it. I helped him do it. I was the last person who saw him. I left him here last night, and I heard him lock the door as I came downstairs. This is his brother saying this? Because I thought his brother didn't know about the treasure. And then he got told. Okay, whatever. I'll just keep going. What time was that? It was 10 o'clock. And now he is dead. And the police will be called in, and I shall be suspected of having a hand in it. Oh yes, I am sure I shall. But you don't think so, gentlemen? Surely you don't think that that was I? It is likely that I would have brought you here if it were I. Oh dear, I know that I shall go mad. He jerked his arms and stamped his feet in a kind of convulsive friendly. You have no reason for fear, Mr. Sholto, said Holmes kindly, putting his hand upon the shoulder. Take my advice and drive down to the station to report this matter to the police. Offer to assist them in every way. We shall wait here until your return. The little man obeyed in a half-stupefied fashion, and we heard him stumbling down the stairs in the dark. That's the end of that chapter. Interesting. Okay, I'm trying to remember and recall who else been murdered. Obviously the dad. And now him. So that's the two people who knew about the treasure. Whoa, Count Quackula. It's cute. That's two. I wonder who the other two might be, because I presume it'll be 4 deaths. Chapter 6. Sherlock Holmes gives a demonstration. Now, Watson, said Holmes, rubbing his hands, we have half an hour to ourselves. Let us make good use of it. My case is, as I have told you, almost complete, but we must not err on the side of overconfidence. Simple as the case seems now, there may be something deeper underlying it. Simple, I ejaculated. Surely, said he, with something of the air of a clinical professor expounding to his class. Just sit in the corner there, that your footprints may not complicate matters. Now, to work. In the first place, hi Edward Clams, thank you so much for following. Thank you. In the first place, how did these folks come, and how did they go? The door has not been opened since last night. How of the window? He carried the lamp across to it, muttering his observations aloud the while, but addressing them to himself rather than me. Window is snibbed on the inner side. Framework is solid. No hinges at the side. Let us open it. No water pipe near. Roof quite out of reach. Yet a man has mounted by the window. It rained a little last night. Here's the print of a foot in the mound upon the sill. And here's a circular muddy mark. And here again upon the floor. And here again by the table. See here, Watson, this is really a very pretty demonstration. I looked at the round, well-defined, muddy discs. This is not a footmark, said I. It is something more valuable to us. It is the impression of a wooden stump. Ooh. Hi, Magnum. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. Okay, but what we're learning is that this person is an amputee, and they have a peg leg. They're a pirate. Arr, they're a pirate. You see here on the sill is the boot mark. Boot mark. A heavy boot with a broad metal heel, and beside it is the mark of the timber toe. It is the wooden-legged man. Quite so. But there has been someone else, a very able and efficient ally. Could you scale that wall, Doctor? I looked out of the open window. The moon still shone brightly on that angle of the house. We were... Thank you for that, pets. We were a good 60 feet from the ground, and, look where I would, I could see no foothold, nor as much as a crevice in the brickwork. It is absolutely impossible, I answered. Without aid, it is so. Hi, Spears. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. But suppose you had a friend up here who lowered you this good stout rope, which I see in the corner, securing one of it. Yo, what's up? Welcome in. How are you tonight? When you're done abusing it, you gotta wait a little bit longer. Then, I think, if you were an active man, you might swarm up, wooden leg and all. You would depart, of course, in the same fashion, and your ally would draw up the rope, untie it from the hook, shut the window, snip it on the inside, and get away in the way that he originally came. As a minor point, it may be noted, he continued, fingering the rope, that our wooden-legged friend, though a fair climber, was not a professional sailor. That was my dog. She's snoring. Thanks for that advance. Oh, no, wife. No, give it some time. You'll get there. No, head pats again. Did they go? Oh no, maybe not, because it was 2 at once. Oh no, Swanky. Swanky, let me see if I can head pats for you. Hold on. There you go. That's Swanky's head pats. Thank you. And Spears, that's fine. Come in and fish away. Fish to your heart's content. Not a professional sailor. I would snap, but I don't know how loud that would be. His hands were far from horny. My lens discloses more than one blood mark, especially towards the end of the rope, from which I gather that he slipped down with much velocity, that he took the skin off of his hand. Oof, ow. This is all very well, said I, but the thing becomes more unintelligible than ever. How about this mysterious ally? How came he into the room? Yes, the ally. We were just holding hands. Yeah, you two were doing it together, of course. So cute. There are features of interest about his ally. He lifts the case from the regions of the commonplace. I fancy that this ally breaks fresh ground in the annals of crime in this country, though parallel cases suggest themselves from India and, if my memory serves me, from Senegambia. How came he then? I reiterated. The door is locked. The window is inaccessible. Was it through the chimney? The grate is much too small, he answered. I had already considered that possibility. How then? I persisted. You will not apply my precept, he said, shaking his head. How often have I said to you that when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. We know that he did not come through the door, the window, or the chimney. My thought process was he came in through the hole in the roof. Maybe he broke another hole in the outside of the roof and then came in that way. We also know that he could not have been concealed in the room, as there is no concealment possible. Whence, then, did he come? He came through the hole in the roof, I cried. Wow! Of course he did. He must have done so. If you will have the kindness to hold the lamp for me, we shall now extend our researches to the room above, the secret room in which the treasure was found. He mounted the steps, and, seizing a rafter with either hand, he swung himself up into the garret. Then, lying on his face, he reached down for the lamp and held it while I followed him. The chamber in which we found ourselves was about 10 feet one way and 6 the other. The floor was formed by the rafters, with thin lath and plaster between, so that in walking one had to step from beam to beam. The roof ran up to an apex, and was evidently the inner shell of the true roof of the house. There was no furniture of any sort, and the accumulated dust of years lay thick upon the floor. Here you are, you see, said Sherlock Holmes, putting his hand against the sloping wall. This is the trap door which leads out onto the roof. I can press it back, and here's the roof itself, sloping at an angle. Then, this is the way by which number 1 entered. Let us see if we can find one other trace of his individuality. Well, I agree. What is that? Matikane Fukuki Kitaru? What is that? Crazy. Also, hold on. I want to have fun. Pew, 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 pew. I pronounced it right. Okay. Your favorite horsey? Hold on, everybody. I'm gonna mute so you don't have to hear my little tabbies. You're my favorite? 90%. Wait. Yeah, 90% chance. Huzzah. Okay. This is what I wanted to do. Oh, wrong buttons. 2, 4. Fight me, Faye. Fight me. You won't. Fight. 95%. I won! Let's go! Yeah. Sorry, Faye. Yahoo! And 95% chance is pretty dang high. Let's go. Let's go. Wait. He held down the lamp to the floor, and as he did so, I saw for the second time that night a startled, surprised look come over his face. For myself, as I followed his gaze, my skin was cold under my clothes. The floor was covered thickly with the prints of a naked foot, clear, well-defined, perfectly formed, but scarce half the size of those of an ordinary man. It's a child. Whoa, it's a child. Lack of good catches. Are you falling asleep, Spears? I'm trying. That's always the goal, is to help put people to sleep. You put a pic of the card in the Discord. Perfect. I will look after stream. Let's go. Oh, no, it didn't work. No, that's sad. Could you screenshot it and then maybe send it? The sleep demons are winning. Yes, give in. Go to sleep, Spears. Holmes, I said in a whisper, a child has done the horrid thing. He had recovered his self-possession in an instant. I was staggered for the moment, he said, but the thing is quite natural. My memory failed me, or I should have been able to foretell it. There is nothing more to be learned here. Let us go down. What is your theory, then, as to the footmarks? I asked eagerly, when we had regained the lower room once more. My dear Watson, try a little analysis yourself, said he, with a touch of impatience. You know my methods. Apply them, and it will be instructive to compare results. I cannot conceive anything which will cover the facts, I answered. It will be clear enough to you soon, he said, in an offhand way. I think that there is nothing else of importance here, but I will look. He whipped out his lens and a tape measure, and hurried about the room on his knees, measuring, comparing, examining, with his long, thin nose, only a few inches from the planks, and his beady eyes, gleaming and deep-set like those of a bird. So swift, silent, and furtive were his movements, like those of a trained bloodhound picking out a scent, that I could not but think what a terrible criminal he would have made had he turned his energy and sagacity against the law, instead of exerting them in its defense. As he hunted about, he kept muttering to himself, and finally he broke out into a loud crow of delight. We are certainly in luck, said he. We ought to have very little trouble now. Number 1 has had the misfortune to tread in the creosote. You can see the outline of the edge of his small foot here at the side of this evil-smelling mess. The carboy has been cracked, you see, and the stuff has leaked out. What then? I asked. Why, we have caught him, that's all, said he. I know a dog that would follow that scent to the world's end. If a pack can track a trailed herring across the Shire, how far can a specially trained hound follow so pungent a smell as this? It sounds like a sum in the rule of 3. The answer should give us the, but halloo, here are the accredited representatives of the law. Heavy steps and the clamor of loud voices were audible from below, and the hall door shut with a loud crash. Before they come, said Holmes, just put your hand here on this poor fellow's arm, and here on his leg. What do you feel? The muscles are as hard as a board, I answered. Quite so. They are in a state of extreme contraction, far exceeding the usual rigor mortis, coupled with this distortion of the face, the Hippocratic smile, or risus sardonicus, as the old writers called it. What conclusion would it suggest to your mind? Oh, so nice. Death from some powerful vegetable alkaloid, I answered. Some strychnine-like substance which would produce tetanus. I think tetanus? That was the idea which occurred to me the instant I saw the drawn muscles of the face. On getting into the room, I at once looked for the means by which the poison had entered the system. As you saw, I discovered a thorn which had been driven, or shot, with no great force, into the scalp. You observe that the part struck was that which would be turned towards the hole in the ceiling if the man were erect in his chair. Now examine the thorn. I took it up gingerly and held it in the light of the lantern. It was long, sharp, and black, with a glazed look near the point, as though some gummy substance had dried upon it. The blunt end had been trimmed and rounded off with a knife. "Is that an English thorn?" he asked. "No, it certainly is not. With all these data, you should be able to draw some just inference, but here are the regulars. So the auxiliary forces may beat a retreat." As he spoke, hydrate, okay. Thank you. No. Thank you. Thanks for the lurk. Exactly. IDK. We're not. Oh. Good night, IDK. Good night. No, wife. No. I was saying as in like no. That's all it was. I was saying Is your scan working? What the heck? Oh, I know what it is. I don't think I turned the other scan off. Hold on. I have 2 scans. Hold on, 2 seconds. I see what the issue is. You used the wrong scan. Let me do the right scan. Hold on. There you go. That's your scan. Good job. There it is. Uh-oh. Oh God. That was terrible. Yeah, that's what scan does. Wait. Funny. As he spoke, the steps which had been coming near sounded loudly on the passage, and a very stout, portly man in a grey suit strode heavily into the room. He was red-faced, burly, and plethoric, with a pair of very small twinkling eyes which looked keenly out from between swollen and puffy pouches. He was closely followed by an inspector in uniform, and by the still palpitating Thaddeus Sholto. No, not the scan again. Here's a business, he cried in a muffled, husky voice. No, my foot. That was terrible. Oh, God. That was a bad one. Here's a pretty business. But who are all of these? Why, the house seems to be as full as a rabbit warren. I think you must recollect me, Mr. Athelney Jones, said Holmes quietly. Why, of course I do, he wheezed. Hi, Traps. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. OMG, 360 followers. Woo! It's Mr. Sherlock Holmes, the theorist. Remember you. I'll never forget how you lectured all of us on causes and inferences and effects in the Bisofgate jewel case. It's true you set us on the right track, but you'll own now that it was more by good luck than by good guidance. Almost hit the sharp goal, that's right. It was a piece of very simple reasoning. Oh, come, now come. Never be ashamed to own up. But what is all this? Bad business. Bad business. Stern facts here. No room for theories. How lucky that I happened to be out in Norwood over another case. I was at the station when the message arrived. What do you think the man died of? Oh, this is hardly a case for me to theorize over, said Holmes dryly. No. Still, we can't deny that you hit the nail on the head sometimes. Dear me, door locked, I understand. Jewels worth $500,000 missing? How's the window? Fastened, but there are steps on the sill. Well, if it was fastened, the steps could have nothing to do with the matter. That's common sense. Man might have died in a fit, but then the jewels are missing. I have a theory. These flashes come upon me at times. Just step aside, Sergeant, and you, Mr. Sholto, your friend can remain. What do you think of this, Holmes? Sholto was, on his own confession, with his brother last night. The brother died in a fit, on which Sholto walked off with the treasure. How's that? Oh my god! Hi, Joy! Hi, Joy, welcome in! Joy! Hello! Everybody, go follow Joy. She's so cute. I love her streams. She's so cute. I love her. Go give her a review and a follow, please. Thank you. Joy, I'm so happy you're here. It's such a pleasure. Thanks for coming by. No, I don't think she raided. I think she's just here. But we still shout out people regardless. Because people deserve a shout out. Yeah. And then Joy does stream kind of later than I do, honestly. So, Joy, are you streaming tonight? Are you going to stream? I haven't checked your Discord to see. I just went live. Okay. On which the dead man very considerably got up and locked the door on the inside. There's a flaw there. Let us apply common sense to the matter. This Thaddeus Sholto was with his brother. There was a quarrel. So much we know. The brother is dead, and the jewels are gone. So much also we know. No one saw the brother from the time Thaddeus left him. His bed had not been slept in. Thaddeus is evidently in a most disturbed state of mind. His appearance is, well, not attractive. You see that I am weaving my web around Thaddeus. The net begins to close upon him. Hi Seymour, yes, that's me. No, my darn foot. Oh my god, didn't you just go to the dentist? Joy, you just went to the dentist. Are you having issues? I hope everything gets resolved and it's okay. I hope the visit goes well and it's not painful. The dentist can be painful sometimes. I hope you have a good visit in the morning. You are not quite in possession of the facts yet, said Holmes. This splinter of wood, which I have every reason to believe is to be poisoned, was in the man's scalp where you see the mark. This card, inscribed as you see it, was on the table, and beside it lay this rather curious stone-headed instrument. How does all that fit into your theory? Confirms it in every respect, said the fact detective pompously. House is full of Indian curiosities. Thaddeus brought this up, and if the splinter be poisonous, Thaddeus may as well have made murderous use of it as any other man. The card is some hocus pocus, a blind, as like it or not. The only question is, how did he depart? Ah, of course, here is a hole in the roof. With great activity, considering his bulk, he sprang up the steps and squeezed through into the garret, and immediately afterwards we heard his exulting voice proclaiming that he had found the trap door. Wow. Yeah, Joy, I read your Discord chats. That's why I'm in your Discord. Gotcha. But okay, cool. So hopefully that shouldn't be very bad. That's good. Oh, no way, you're retiring? Yeah. Oh my god, that number. Oh, guac. Was that 2 million? Is that 2 million you just lost? No, why? Oh my god. Crazy. C'est la vie. P. Excellent. Oh, I see over there. It's a 7 TV or something, isn't it? Cute. Wait. He can find something, remarked Holmes, shrugging his shoulders. He has occasional glimmerings of reason. Oh my god, this next bit's in Latin. What the fuck? Il n'y a pas. No, it's in French. A pas de sorts si incommodes que ceux qui ont l'esprit. I don't know if that was right. You see, said Athelney Jones, reappearing down the steps again. Facts are better than mere theories, after all. My view of the case is confirmed. There is a trapdoor communicating with the roof, and it is partially opened. It was I who opened it. Sherlock. He's so sassy. Oh my god. Oh, indeed. You did notice it then. He seemed a little crestfallen at the discovery. Well, whoever noticed it, it shows how our gentleman got away. Inspector? Yes, sir, from the passage. Ask Mr. Sholto to step this way. Mr. Sholto, it is my duty to inform you that anything which you may say will be used against you. I arrest you in the Queen's name as being concerned in the death of your brother. That sucks. Hi, Halcyon. Halcyon, maybe? Thank you for the follow. And everybody, you guys made me drink so much water, I have to use the restroom. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I will be right back. What'd you catch? You caught a turtle. Oh, hydrate. No. I have to cough. Oh my god, you guys made another achievement go off. Wait, you got my achievement was a SpongeBob SquarePants reference. Oh, yeah, I know. And no wife, you can come back off of hydrate. Just don't spam it. Don't go out here abusing it. Thank you. Your probation is lifted. Leaving. Okay. There now. Didn't I tell you? Cried the poor little man, throwing out his hands and looking from one to the other of us. Don't trouble yourself about it, Mr. Sholto, said Holmes. I think I can engage to clear you of the charge. Don't promise too much, Mr. Theorist. Don't promise too much, snapped the detective. You may find it a harder matter than you think. Not only will I clear him, Mr. Jones, but I will make you a free present of the name and description of one of the two people who were in this room last night. His name, I have every reason to believe, is Jonathan Small. He is a poorly educated man, small, active, with his right leg off, and wearing a wooden stump, which is worn away upon the inner side. His left boot has a coarse, square-toed sole with an iron band round the heel. He is a middle-aged man. Thanks for the headpats. Much sunburned, and has been a convict. These few indications may be of some assistance to you, coupled with the fact that there is a good deal of skin missing from the palm of his hand. The other man, who's doing amazing? Me? Or Hitmanic for gambling, or... the other man, asked Athelney Jones in a sneering voice, but impressed nonetheless, as I could easily see by the precision of the other's manner. Is a rather curious person, said Sherlock Holmes, turning upon his heel. I hope... Oh, me? Thanks, God, Honor. Thank you. I'm not doing amazing. That's great. Oh my god, why 77777? That's funny. I hope before very long to be able to introduce you to the pair of them. A word with you, Watson. He led me out to the head of the stair. This unexpected occurrence, he said, has caused us rather to lose sight of the original purpose of our journey. I have just been thinking so, I answered. Thank you for the alert, Joy. Have a good night. It is not right that Miss Morstan should remain in this stricken house. No, you must escort her home. She lives with Miss Cecil Forrester in Lower Camberwell, so it is not very far. I will wait for you here if you will drive out again. Or perhaps you are too tired. By no means. I don't think I could rest until I know more of this fantastic business. I have seen something of the rough side of life, but I give you my word that this quick succession of strange surprises tonight has shaken my nerve completely. I should like, however, to see the matter through with you, now that I have got so far. Honk Snoop. Wait, my Twitch category is wrong? How? It looks like it's ASMR to me. Okay, good. Thank you for wanting to bring it to my attention, though, Sheet. If it was wrong, I appreciate it. I definitely would want it fixed. So, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. has one spare change. It's !give Faye, and then you type their username and then how much you want to give, if that's what you were asking. Okay. Yep, okay. Your presence will be of great service to me, he answered. We shall work the case out independently and leave this fellow Jones to exult over any mare's nest which he may choose to construct. When you have dropped Miss Morstan, I wish you to go on to number 3 Pinchin Lane, down near the water's edge at Lambeth. The third house on the right-hand side is a bird stuffer's. Sherman is the name. You will see a weasel. Hi, sheet again. Thank you so much for following. You will see a weasel holding a young rabbit in the window. Knock old Sherman up and tell him, with my compliments, that I want Toby at once. You will bring Toby back in the cab with you. A dog, I suppose. Yes, a queer mongrel with a most amazing power of scent. I would rather have Toby's help than that of the whole detective force of London. I shall bring him then, said I. It is 1 now. I ought to be back before 3. Wait, is it 1 in the morning? What the heck? If I can get a fresh horse. And I, said Holmes, shall see what I can learn from Miss Burnstone and from the Indian servant, who, Mr. Thaddeus tells me, sleeps in the next garret. Then I shall study the great Jones's methods and listen to his not too delicate sarcasms. Is this German? Worse in... What the frick? Oh my god. Oh my god. Corey. Gorgeous baby girl. Are you okay? Oh my god. Corey. Honey. Are you okay? What happened? I am so sorry. What the heck? Yes, I think she is okay. I think... car bar. Okay, so it looks like she was sitting right behind my chair, and I must have at some point scrolled onto it, the very edge of her fur, and neither of us noticed, and she went to get up, and she was trapped in my freaking wheel of my chair. And so she yelped as she pulled her fur out. Golly, Kari, baby girl. Hi, are you okay? Oh my god, stop hitting the microphone. No. No. She's all cuddled up underneath my desk now. Poor baby. Yeah. I keep telling her not to do this because she keeps sitting behind my chair. I just need to start paying more attention. That's my fault. I'm sorry, Kari. And hi, Samuel. Thank you so much for the follow. You gave it a bit of a chaotic time. I apologize. She's licking me, so I think she's saying it's okay. I just feel bad. Carvar, are you okay, baby? Are you good? Hold on. She's in the mic. Let me mute. Okay, she has laid down in front of me. That is a much better position than behind me. Oh my god, that scared me so bad. It made my heart sad. I hate it. But yeah, you can sit in front of me. There you go, Peppa girl. Give her a treat. My treats are downstairs. I will try and give her one afterwards. I'll give her some marshmallows. We have marshmallows in the... my toilet. Okay, I closed the bathroom door, but we have marshmallows for the doggies, so I'll give her a marshmallow later. Ah, poor baby. I'm sorry, everybody. That was sad. But I think she's okay. Oh, golly. Came out of nowhere, Frank. My heart rate. Oh, Okay. Frick. Oh, okay. My mouse scrolled up because I was like in fright. Okay. Okay. Mr. Thaddeus tells me the Indian servant sleeps in the next garret. Then I shall study the great Jones's methods and listen to his not too delicate sarcasms. Woer sind Juwenat, das die Menschen verhonen wes sie nicht verstehen. Goth is always pithy. The end of that chapter. Whatever the heck that was. Oh, golly gumdrops. Wait. Oh. Oh no. Oh, car bar. Chillin', just buy you some gifts. Chillin'. Oh my word. Thank you. Thank you. She'll appreciate those. Poor baby. Sad. Sorry. She's licking my hand. I think she understands. These licks are for you. I know. The poor doggy. I feel so bad. You hear her licking me? Car bar. I know. I felt so bad too. I hate it. Oh my god. Let me see. I'll take a photo of where she's at right now and I'll post in the Discord so y'all can see. She's so goopy. Baby girl. Hey now. Oh. We're holding hands. Oh, poor baby girl. Okay. Let me post that photo and then we'll continue reading. But again, thank you, Chillin'. That's very, very nice of you. Thank you so much. Dog side content. Oh no, someone took a photo with me. It looks like question mark. Oh my god. It was Bento. This is stupid. Okay. Oy vey. Oh, it's the end of a page too. Yay. Headpats. Thanks for the headpats. Thank you. Okay. Alright, this is chapter 7. The episode of the barrel. The police had brought a cab with them, and in this I escorted Miss Morstan back to her home. After the angelic fashion of women, she had borne trouble with a calm face as long as there was someone weaker than herself to support, and I had found her bright and placid by the side of the frightened housekeeper. Hi Rin, thank you so much for the follow. In the cab, however, she first turned faint and then burst into a passion of weeping, so sorely had she been tied by the adventures of the night. She has told me since that she thought me cold and distant upon that journey. I will take good care of her. And yeah, she's like, please, I just got hurt. I just want affection. I'm petting her right now as I'm reading. Trying to give her attention and affection. Poor baby. She little guessed the struggle within my breast, or the effort of self-restraint which held me back. My sympathies and my love went out to her, even as my hand had in the garden. I felt that years of the conventionalities of life could not teach me to know her sweet, brave nature, as had this one day of strange experiences. Yet, all the pets for sure. Yet there were two thoughts which sealed the words of affection upon my lips. She was weak and helpless, shaken in mind and nerve. It was to take her at a disadvantage to obtrude love upon her at such a time. Worse still, she was rich. If Holmes's researches were successful, she would be an heiress. Was it fair? Was it honorable that a half-pay surgeon should take such advantage of an intimacy which chance had brought about. Might she not look upon me as a mere vulgar fortune-seeker? I could not bear to risk that such a thought should cross her mind. This Agra treasure intervened like an impassable barrier between us. Yes, that is my dog breathing. She's a Samoyed, right? And so she's double coated, that's the word. And so she pants all the time, even when she's not hide. She'll be outside in the snow, like when we have snow days. She'll be outside and she'll still be panting. She just pants to pant. I don't know if it's a breed thing or what, but yes, that's her just a breathing. I don't have snow often. I'm in the south. Yeah, she is happy doggo. Just like that. Just like that. It was nearly 2 o'clock when we reached Miss Cecil Forrester's. The servants had retired hours ago, but Miss Forrester had been so interested by the strange message which Miss Morstan had received that she had stayed up in the hopes of her return. She opened the door herself, a middle-aged, graceful woman, and it gave me joy to see how tenderly her arms stole around the other waist, and how motherly was the voice in which she greeted her. That is surprising. How would you not get snow in Canada? She was clearly no mere paid dependent, but an honored friend. I was introduced, and Miss Forrester earnestly begged me to step in and tell her our adventures. I explained, however, the importance of my errand, and promised faithfully to call and report any progress which we might make with the case. As we drove away, I stole a glance back, and I still seemed to see that little group on the step, the 2 graceful, clinging figures, the half-open door, the hall light shining through stained glass, the barometer, and the bright stair rods. It was, oh, good night, Faye. Good night, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful rest. You live on an island that happens to have a rainforest climate all the way up north? That's crazy. Whoa. It was soothing to catch even that passing glimpse of a tranquil English home in the midst of the wild, dark businesses which had absorbed us. And the more I thought of what had happened, the wilder and darker it grew. I reviewed the whole extraordinary sequence of events as I rattled on through the silent, gas-lit streets. There was the original problem that at least, yes ma'am, that at least was pretty clear now. The death of Captain Morstan, the sending of the pearls, the advertisement, the letter. We had had light upon all those events. They had only led us, however, to a deeper and far more tragic mystery. Hi, Booba. Oh, that's awesome. I know you do come and you lurk sometimes, which is so fun. Thanks for finally chatting. It's okay if you never chat again, though. I appreciate you being here regardless. And I'm glad I could give you some fun while you're at work. Let's go. Okay. The Indian treasure, the curious plan found among Morstan's baggage, the strange scene at Major Sholto's death, the rediscovery of the treasure, immediately followed by the murder of the discoverer, the very singular accompaniments to the crime, the footsteps, the remarkable weapons, the words upon the card, corresponding. Boba, you can talk. Can be quiet, it's whatever you're comfortable with. I'm completely fine with it. I just appreciate you being here and watching. Corresponding with those upon Captain Morstan's chart, here was indeed a labyrinth in which a man less singularly endowed than my fellow lodger might well despair of ever finding the clue. Pinchin Lane was a row of shabby, two-storied brick houses in the lower quarter of Lambeth. I had to knock for some time at number 3 before I could make my impression. At last, however, there was the glint of a candle behind the blind, and a face looked out at the upper window. "Go on, you drunken vagabond," said the face. "If you kick up any more row, I'll open the kennels and let out 43 dogs upon you. Oh my gosh." "If you'll let one out, it's just what I have come for," said I. "Go on," yelled the voice. "So help me gracious, I have a wiper in the bag, and I'll drop it on your head if you don't hook it." "But I want a dog," I cried. "I won't be argued with," shouted Mr. Sherman. "Now stand clear, for when I say 3, down goes the wiper." "Mr. Sherlock Holmes," I began, but the words had a most magical effect, for the window instantly slammed down, and within a minute the door was unbarred and open. Mr. Sherman was a lanky, mean old man, with stooping shoulders, a stringy neck, and blue-tinted glasses. "A friend of Mr. Sherlock is always welcome," said he. "Step in, sir. Keep clear of the badger, for he bites." "Ah, naughty, naughty. Would you take a nip at the gentleman?" This to a stoat, which thrust its wicked head and red eyes between the bars of a cage. "Don't mind that, sir. It's only a slow worm. It hadn't got no fangs, so I give it the run of the room, for it keeps the battles down. You must not mind my being just a little short with you at first, for I'm guyed at by the children, and there's many a one just comes down this lane to knock me up. What was it that Mr. Sherlock Holmes wanted, sir?" "He wanted a dog of yours?" "Ah, that would be Toby." "Yes, Toby was the name. Toby lives at number 7 on the left here." He moved slowly forward with his candle among the queer animal family which he had gathered around him. In the uncertain, shadowy light, I could see dimly that there were glancing, glimmering eyes peeping down at us from every cranny and corner. Even the rafters above our heads were lined with solemn fowls, who lazily shifted their weight from one leg to the other as our voices disturbed their slumbers. Toby proved to an ugly, long-haired, lop-eared creature, half spaniel, half lurcher, brown and white in color, with a very clumsy, waddling gait. It accepted, after some hesitation, a lump of sugar which the old naturalist handed to me, and having thus sealed an alliance, it followed me to the cab, and made no difficulties about accompanying me. It had just struck 3 on the palace clock when I found myself back once more at Pondicherry Lodge. The ex-prize fighter McMurrough had, I found, been arrested as an accessory, and both he and Mr. Sholto had been marched off to the station. 2 constables guarded the narrow gate, but they allowed me to pass with the dog on my mentioning the detective's name. Holmes was standing on the doorstep, with his hands in his pockets, smoking his pipe. "Ah, you have him there," said he. "Good dog, then. Athelney Jones is gone. We have had an immense display of energy since he left. He has arrested not only friend Thaddeus, but the gatekeeper, the housekeeper, and the Indian servant. We have the place to ourselves, but for a sergeant upstairs. Leave the dog here and come up." We tied Toby to the hall table and descended the stairs. The room was as we had left it, save that a sheet had been draped over the central figure. A weary-looking police sergeant reclined in the corner. "Lend me your bullseye, sergeant," said my companion. "Now tie this bit of card around my neck, so as to hang it in front of me." "Thank you. Now I must kick off my boots and stockings. Just you carry them down with you, Watson. I am going to do a little climbing." And dip my handkerchief into the creosote. That will do. Now come up into the garret with me for a moment. We clambered up through the hole. Holmes turned his light once more upon the footsteps in the dust. I wish you particularly to notice these footmarks, he said. Do you observe anything noteworthy about them? Thanks for that, Vance. Thank you. They belong, I said, to a child or a small woman. Apart from their size, though, is there nothing else? They appear to be much as other footmarks. Not at all. Look here. This is the print of a right foot in the dust. Now I make one with my naked foot beside it. What is the chief difference? Your toes are all cramped together. The other print has each toe distinctly divided. Quite so. That is the point. Bear that in mind. Now, would you kindly step over to that flap window and smell the edge of the woodwork? I shall stay here as I have this handkerchief in my hand. I did as he directed, and was instantly conscious of a strong, tarry smell. This is where he put his foot in getting out. If you can trace him, I should think that Toby will have no difficulty. Now, run downstairs, loose the dog. Oh, that wasn't that bad. That one wasn't that bad. I'm just kind of squish-faced. And look out for Blondin. By the time that I got out into the grounds, Sherlock Holmes was on the roof, and I could see him like an enormous glowworm crawling very slowly along the ridge. I lost sight of him behind a stack of chimneys, but he presently reappeared, and then vanished once more upon the opposite side. When I made my way around there, I found him seated at once of the corner eaves. Is that you, Watson? He cried. Yes, this is the place. What is that black thing down there? A water barrel? Top on it? Yes. No sign of a ladder? No. Confound the fellow. It is a most breakneck place. I ought to be able to come down where he could climb up. The water pipe feels pretty firm. Here goes, anyhow. There was a scuffling of feet, and then the lantern began to come steadily down the side of the wall. Then, with a light spring, he came onto the barrel, and from there to the earth. It was easy to follow him, he said, drawing on his stockings and boots. Tiles were loose in the whole way along, and in his hurry he had dropped this. It confirms my diagnosis, as you doctors express it. The object which he held up to me was a small pocket or pouch woven out of colored grasses and with a few tawdry beads strung around it. In shape and size, it was not unlike a cigarette case. Inside were half a dozen spines of dark wood, sharp at one end and rounded at the other, like that which had struck Bartholomew Sholto. They are hellish things, said he. Look out that you don't break yourself. I'm delighted to have them, for the chances are strange. And hydrate. Okay, sure. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I'm out of water. I'll have to fill it up in the next hydrate. I'm delighted to have them, for the chances are that they are all he has. There is the less fear of you or me finding one on our skin before long. I would sooner face a martini bullet myself. Are you game for a 6-mile trudge, Watson? Certainly, I answered. Your leg will stand it? Oh, yes. Here you are, doggy. Good old Toby. Smell it, Toby, smell it. He pushed the creosote handkerchief under the dog's nose, while the creature stood with its fluffy legs separated, and with a most comical cock to its head, like a connoisseur sifting the bouquet of a famous vintage. Holmes then threw Yes, let's go. Fish it up. Holmes then threw the handkerchief to a distance, fastened a stout cord to the mongrel's collar, and led him to the foot of the water barrel. The creature instantly broke into a succession of high, tremulous yelps, and, with his nose on the ground and his tail in the air, pattered off upon the trail at a pace which strained his leash and kept us at the top of our speed. The east had been gradually whitening, and we could now see some distance in the cold gray light. The square, massive house, with its black, empty windows and high, bare walls, towered up, sad and forlorn, behind us. Our course led right across the grounds, in and out among the trenches and pits which they were scarred and intersected. The whole place, with its scattered dirt heaps and ill-grown shrubs, had blighted, ill-omened look. Yes, ma'am. Which harmonized with the black tragedy which hung over it. On reaching the boundary wall, Toby ran along, whining eagerly underneath its shadow, and stopped finally in a corner, screened by a young beech. Where the two walls joined, several bricks had been loosened, and the crevices left were worn down and rounded upon the lower side, as though they had frequently been used as a ladder. Holmes clambered up, and, taking the dog from me, he dropped it over upon the other side. "There's the print of Woodenleg's hand," he remarked, as I mounted up beside him. "You see the slight smudge of blood under the white plaster. What a lucky thing it is that we have had no very heavy rain since yesterday. The scent will lie upon the road, in spite of their 80 and 20 hours start." I confess that I had my doubts myself when I reflected upon the great traffic which had passed along the London road in the interval. My fears were soon appeased, however. Toby never hesitated or swerved, but waddled on in his peculiar rolling fashion. Clearly the pungent smell Clearly the pungent smell of the creosote rose high among all other contending scents. "Do not imagine," said Holmes, "that I depend for my success in this case upon the mere chance of one of these fellows having put his foot in the chemical. I have knowledge now which would enable me to trace them in many different ways. This, however, is the readiest, and, since fortune has put it into our hands, I should be culpable if I neglected it. It has, however, prevented the case from becoming the pretty little intellectual problem which it at one time promised to be. There might have been some credit to be gained out of it, but for this is too palpable a clue." "There is credit, and to spare," said I. "I assure you, Holmes, that I marvel at the means by which you obtain your results in this case, even more than I did in the Jefferson Hope murder. The thing seems to me to be deeper and more inexplicable. How, for example, could you describe with such confidence the wooden-legged man?" "Pshaw, my dear boy, it was simplicity itself. I don't wish to be theatrical. It is all patent and above board. Two officers who are in command of a convict guard learn an important secret as to be buried treasure. A map is drawn for them by an Englishman named Jonathan Small. You remember that we saw the name upon the chart in Captain Morstan's possession. He had signed it in behalf of himself and his associates, the sign of the 4, as he somewhat dramatically called it. Aided by this chart, the officers, or one of them, gets the treasure and brings it to England, leaving, we will suppose, some condition under which he received it unfulfilled. Well, no, wife, we are definitely not going to finish the book today. We are not even halfway through, so you will have another stream in you at least. Now then, why did not Jonathan Small get the treasure himself? The other book was actually longer than this one. No finish. I could not do the whole book. I think I need to end it after this chapter ends. No, we were 1/3 of the way through. I thought we were going to get 2/3 of the way through tonight, but honestly, we had so much happen that we're not going to get 2/3. I don't think we're even going to get like halfway. We had a lot happen. I think we'll have 2 more streams of this. Thanks for the headbands. But it's getting late, and I have lunch with my grandparents in the morning or afternoon more so after this chapter ends, I'll be heading out. But I don't see an ending on this page at least, so we've got a little bit longer. Okay, now then, why did not Jonathan Small get the treasure himself? The answer is obvious. The chart is dated. Hi Slick, thank you so much for the follow. Good evening. The chart is dated at a time when Morstan was brought into close association with convicts. Jonathan Small did not get the treasure because he and his associates were themselves convicts and could not get away. But that is mere speculation, said I. It is more than that. It is the only hypothesis which covers the facts. Let us see how it fits in with the sequel. Major Sholto remains at peace for some years, happy in the possession of his treasure. Then he receives a letter from India, which gives him a great fright. What was that? A letter to say that the men whom he had wronged had been set free, or had escaped. That is much more likely, for he would have known what their term of imprisonment was. It would not have been a surprise to him. What does he do then? He guards himself against a wooden-legged man, a white man, mark you, for he mistakes a white tradesman for him, and actually fires a pistol at him. Now, only one white man's name is on the chart. The others are Hindus or Mohammedans. Mohammedans? Yeah, sure. There is no other white man. Therefore, we may say with confidence that the wooden-legged man is identical with Jonathan Small. Does the reasoning strike you as being faulty? No, it is clear and concise. Well now, let us put ourselves in the place of Jonathan Small. Let us look at it from his point of view. He comes to England with the doable idea of regaining what he would consider to be his rights, and of having his revenge upon the man who had wronged him. He found out where Sholto lived, and very possibly he established communications with someone inside of the house. There is this butler, Lau Rao, whom we have not seen. Miss Burnstone gives him far from a good character. Small could not find out, however, where the treasure was hid, for no one ever knew, save the major and one faithful servant who had died. Suddenly, Smalls learns that the major is on his deathbed. In a frenzy, lest the secret of the treasure die with him, he runs the gauntlet of the guards. Hi chickies, thank you so much for the follow. Good evening. Gauntlet of the guards makes his way to the dying man's window and is only deterred from entering by the presence of his 2 sons. Mad. Oh, and hi Supreme Red Eggs, thank you for following as well. Good evening. Mad with hate, however, against the dead man, he enters the room that night, searches his private papers in the hopes of discovering some memorandum relating to the treasure, and finally leaves. Hello, good evening. How are you today? Are you doing good? relating to the treasure, and finally leaves a memento of his visit in the short inscription upon the card. He has doubtless planned beforehand that should he slay the major, he would leave some such record upon the body as a sign that it was not a common murder, but, from the point of view of the four associates, something in the nature of an act of justice. Whimsical and bizarre conceits of this kind are common enough in the annals of crime, and usually afford valuable indications as to the criminal. Do you follow all of this? Very clearly. Now, what could Jonathan Small do? He could only continue to keep a secret watch upon the efforts made to find the treasure. Possibly he leaves England and only comes back at intervals. Then comes the discovery of the garret, and he is instantly informed of it. We again trace the presence of some confederate in the household. Jonathan, with his wooden leg, 2 seconds, with his wooden leg, is utterly unable to reach the lofty room of Bartholomew Sholto. He takes with him, however, a rather curious associate who gets over this difficulty, but dips his naked foot into creosote, whence come Toby and a 6-mile limp for a half-pay officer with a damaged tendo Achilles. Ow. Terrible skins. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I have to refill my water bottle because I'm out of water in Supreme Red X. Did I hydrate? So give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, Cobra, you're in front of me. Laying on the blanket like a cutie patootie. I need to put an idle animation on my girl, because otherwise she looks so dead when I lose tracking. She needs an idle animation. I gotta go do that after this. Make her go to sleep. No, you shall not spam hydrate. False. Oh no, not another scan. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Oh no, my chair, my fucking chair. And my foot. Okay. This is Supreme Rex's hydrates. Hydration. I know, half an eye. Crazy stuff. Oh, okay. And Slick is hydrating me. Okay. Oh, thank you. Water. Wait. But it was the associate, and not Jonathan, who committed the crime. Quite so. And rather, to Jonathan's disgust, to judge by the way this stamped about when he got into the room. He bore no grudge against Bartholomew Sholto, and would have preferred if he could have simply been bound and gagged. He did not wish to put his head in a halter. There was no help for it, however. The savage instincts of his companion had broken out, and the poison had done its work. So Jonathan Small left his record, lowered the treasure box to the ground. Oh my gosh, the water. I'm trying not to burp from the water. It's making my insides go blah blah blah. That to the ground and followed himself. That was the train of events as far as I can decipher them. Of course, as to his personal appearance, he must be middle-aged and must be sunburned after serving his time in such an oven as the Ambience. Oh. Oh, Bento. Thank you for the gifted sub. To Aria. Is she in here? Or were you just doing that for fun? Either way, thank you. Yeah, here's the funny part. That's not actually accurate. My sub goal, it is 80, but I'm actually only at 74 subscribers. Steam Elements is wrong for some reason, and I couldn't figure out how to fix it before we started stream, so I just said, YOLO, let's go with it. So I'm actually at 74 subscribers, not 80, but you know what? That's chill. Let's go. We'll just pretend I made the sub goal. You're silly. Muy bien. Okay. Okay. His height is readily calculated from the length of his stride, and we know that he was bearded. His hairiness was the one point which impressed itself upon Thaddeus Sholto when he saw him at the window. I don't know that there is anything else. The associate? Ah, well, there is no great mystery in that, but you will know all about it soon enough. How sweet the morning air is. See how that one little cloud floats like a pink feather from some gigantic flamingo. Now the red rim of the sun pushes itself over the London cloud bank. It shines on a good many folk, but on none, I dare bet, who were on a stranger errand than you and I. Okay, I was just making sure. Oh, yeah. How small we feel with our petty ambitions and strivings in the presence of the great elemental forces of nature. Are you well up in your Jean Paul? Fairly so. I worked back to him through Carlisle. That was like following the brook to the parent lake. He makes one curious but profound remark. No, wife, we are on the page where the chapter ends. So, I'm gonna give it maybe 6, 7. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to do it, but 6, 7. I meant to think it wouldn't be as long as 10, but not as short as 5. So I was starting to say 6 or 7. So my bad. Sorry, guys, I made the joke without intending. You'll sleep after 6, 7 hours. No, minutes. 6 or 7 minutes. I think. All depends on how long it takes me to read. It might be more, like 15. I don't know, I've got to figure that out. But either way, this is the last page. We're at the end, so. It is that the chief's proof of a man's real greatness lies in his perception of his own smallness. It argues, you see, a power of comparison and of appreciation, which is in itself a proof of nobility. There is much food for thought in Richer. You have not a pistol, have you? I have my stick. It is just possible that we may need something of the sort if we get to their lair. Yeah, if they're a bunch of freaking criminals. Jonathan I shall leave to you, but if the other turns nasty, I shall shoot him dead. He took out his revolver as he spoke, and, having loaded 2 of the chambers, he put it back into the right-hand pocket of his jacket. We had, during this time, been following the guidance of Toby down the half-rural, villa-lined roads which led to the metropolis. Now, however, we were beginning to come along continuous streets, where laborers and dockmen were already astir, and slatternly women were taking down shutters and brushing doorsteps. At the square-topped corner, public houses, businesses, was just beginning, and rough-looking men were emerging, rubbing their sleeves across their beards after their morning wet. Strange dogs sauntered up and stared wonderingly at us as we passed, but our inimitable Toby looked neither to the right nor to the left, but trotted onwards with his nose to the ground and an occasional eager whine which spoke of a hot scent. We had traversed Streatham, Brixton, Camberwell, Hi Wolfix, thank you so much for the follow, good evening. And now found ourselves in Kennington Lane, having borne away through the side streets to the east of the Oval. The men whom we pursued seemed to have taken a curiously zigzag road, with the idea, probably, of escaping observation. They had never kept to the main road if a parallel side street would serve their turn. At the foot of Kennington Lane, they had edged away to the left through Bond Street and Miles Street, where the latter street turned into Knight's Place. Toby ceased to advance, but began to run backwards and forwards, with one ear cocked and the other drooping, the very picture of canine indecision. Then he waddled around in circles, looking up to us from time to time, as if to ask for sympathy in his embarrassment. "What the deuce is matter with the dog?" growled Holmes. "They surely would not take a cab or go off in a balloon." Perhaps. Oh, hi Arya. Hello. Hi. Good evening. Thanks for coming. Everybody, follow Arya. Follow Arya. She's so cute. We like Arya. We're supposed to game together at some point. When? I don't know. We'll figure that out. But yay. Arya. Good evening. Oh, he's cheating? No, for real, always. Except he always loses, so. Perhaps they stood here for some time, I suggested. "Ah, it's all right. He's off again," said my companion in a tone of relief. He was indeed off, for after sniffing around again, he suddenly made up his mind and darted away with an energy and determination such as he had not yet shown. The scent appeared to be much hotter than before, for he had not even put his nose on the ground, but tugged at his leash and tried to break into a run. I could see by the gleam in Holmes's eyes that he thought we were nearing the end of our journey. Our course now ran down 9 elms until we came to Broderick and Nelson's large timber yard, just past the White Eagle Tavern. Here the dog, frantic with excitement, turned down through the side gate into the enclosure, where the sawyers were already at work. On the dog raced through sawdust and shavings, down an alley, round a passage, between 2 wood piles, and finally, with a triumphant yelp, sprang upon a large barrel which still stood upon the hand trolley on which it had been brought. With a lolling tongue and blinking eyes, Toby stood upon the cask, looking from one to the other of us for some sign of appreciation. The staves of the barrel and the wheels of the trolley were smeared with a dark liquid, and the whole air was heavy with the smell of creosote. Sherlock Holmes and I looked blankly at each other, and thus burst simultaneously into an uncontrollable fit of laughter. And there we are. That's the end of the chapter. That was it, everybody. Oh, it is another page though, so here you go. You get one last page turn. What do you mean I can't end it? Why not? Why not? We've been streaming for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I know I have to read. I know I have to rate. I'm going to. I gotta figure out who we got. Let me looky. Raid channel, search and filter, category ASMR. Who we got? A bunch of real life people. I want a VidTuber. Oh, gee, who is this? I have to read the last page. No. I did say the other night I would take a suggestion if anyone had a suggestion. If not, there's definitely some people I can find on here. That's the good news. I am seeing a few people. Does anyone have a suggestion first? And good night, God Hunter. Thank you for being here. Is Arya live? She's not popping up as live under raid channel. She is live. What the frick? Why did she not pop up? Yeah, of course I'll freaking raid her. What the frick? Why did she not pop up? Yeah, I'm a freaking raider ass. Oh my god, yeah, get me up in here. OMG, stupid. Stupid Twitch. Why would you not show her? Kill me. I gotta make sure I spelled it right. Darn it, Twitch, you piss me off sometimes. Okay, yeah, to Aria. Yes. Okay. Oh wait, she's got follower or subscriber chat only on, which means in order to say anything, you guys have to at least follow her. Ha ha ha, forced follows. But that's our little tag, okay, everybody? That's our little raid tag. Exactly, forced follows. Losers. You must give her follows. Oh my god, not a last hydrate. Okay, hold on. Oh, thank you. Of course, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming along. I think we are basically halfway now. We've made it halfway through the book, so that's the good news. Oh, 2 more streams, I think. So tomorrow, and then next Monday. Yahoo! Oh god, the whole half of it. Oh my god, I cannot read freaking 29 more pages worth. You're crazy. In one night. Crazy. Okay, anyways, we're gonna go raid. So, good night, loves. Good night. Jonny, hopefully I see you tomorrow. Bye.